We just hit 90 straight days of living on the road in our 22-foot Airstream Sport Bambi. Today's video is going to be a recap, essentially, of the last 90 days. I've broken this into 3 parts. Part 1 is the good, views on views. Part 2 is the bad, breaks, struggles, problems, so forth. And part 3 is our future. Now, if you're new to the channel and you've clicked on this video because you're thinking about RV life, I'll put the chapters down below and you can kind of jump ahead. However, for those of you who do subscribe and follow along, before we jump in, I want to give a little update because I know it has been over a week since I uploaded a video. If you follow us on Instagram, you know why. I had a friend come into town, spend 5 days with us. So I wasn't going to spend time editing and uploading and stuff like that. I uploaded a video the morning that he arrived. The good news is I have tons of footage to show you because we had an extremely eventful 5 days. First we went to Sequoia, and then after showing him a bunch of photos of the Alabama hills, he pretty much just had to go there. So we went there, and then we went to Sierra Gordo, the ghost town. If you follow Ghost Town Living on YouTube. So we went there and saw that. We ate a bunch of food, went to LA, all sorts of fun stuff. So I'll have a video on that soon, but honestly I have lots of videos still to come, but I will get that up soon. And as of filming this yesterday, we finally made it to the beach.
Totally 100% worth it. Oh shit. Oh my gosh.
Views on views. Let's start with the best part of this lifestyle. I've always said that I have no real plan for our journey. That should be extremely evident by the fact that I'm filming this in a Walmart parking lot about an hour north of LA. We went to the beach yesterday, which was one of virtually the only list items of things that I wanted to do on this journey, which was let the pups see the ocean and experience them. And we got to do that yesterday. So yeah, I mean, that's just... anyways, that'll be a whole video. I can't wait to show it to you. But now, by never having a plan, I'm sure I've missed some amazing places, some amazing views on views. That said, I'm confident that I've gotten to experience things that I never would have experienced otherwise. Because without a plan, I don't feel like I'm on some sort of defined timetable. 2 places specifically come to mind when I think about this. The first being Cosmic Campground in New Mexico. I did a whole vlog on this, which I'll link below, or I'll put it on the screen. But basically, it's an international dark sky sanctuary. There's virtually no artificial light. The nearest anything town, and that's using that word loosely, it's about 40 miles away. You know, this was a place that I didn't even know existed until about the day before we went there. Literally just looking up places to go on the map, different campsites and such, and I saw the name Cosmic Campground. Well, that looked cool. Let me click on that. And after reading about it, even though it was 4 hours away in a direction that I didn't intend on going, it was kind of like, how do I not go here? The second place was the Alabama hills in California. A place that was so beautiful that when I showed Eric the photos, as I mentioned earlier, he just had to see it for himself. So we drove all day, about 4 or 5 hours, just to spend a couple nights there before he had to go back east. And I'm really sorry if you can hear car noise. As I mentioned, I am literally filming this in a Walmart parking lot. So there is a fairly decent main road. It is midnight, but there's still a decent amount of traffic apparently. Probably by the fact that it's Saturday night, but anyways. So 90 days in, and while I've rarely had a plan and still don't have a plan other than go north right now, you know, that can certainly cause stress, which we'll talk about that in a minute, but ultimately, I love it. Part 2. Problems, breaks, struggles, that sort of stuff. You cannot live this lifestyle without problems. Now, to be fair, you can't live any life without problems. You can't live this lifestyle without stuff breaking, and you can't live this lifestyle without struggles. Let's go over some of the breaks real quick, just so you can kind of know that, you know, I mean, I would think that you would know this, but just so you literally know it. I made a list. I'm just going to read it, and I'm probably missing some stuff, but things that have broken. I've had 2 windows break. Not like the actual glass, but like couldn't open them. Still can't, not fixed yet. The side trunk on the Airstream, can't get that to open. Some random underbody piece of the Airstream came off. Don't really know what that does, but I put it back on. Window insulators have come off a couple times. countless little screws that I find, both from the Airstream and from like my desk and just random other things, just from the constant vibrations. The water pump. Okay, side note, if anyone can tell me what I'm doing wrong with this water pump, I would love to know, because sometimes it just stops working. And the only way I can fix it is there's release valves that are generally used for like cleaning and maintenance. And I have to like climb under the Airstream or climb into like underneath the closet and stuff and open them up and let water drain out for a little bit, which one, wastes my water, and two, is just highly annoying. And then it'll start working again. I don't know what I'm doing that's causing this. At first I thought it was because I would let the tanks run completely empty and it was creating air, but even when I don't do that, it still happens. And then like sometimes I can get it going, sometimes it takes a while. I don't know. It's probably something I'm doing, but maybe it's going bad. I'm not sure yet. Shower caulking, pretty simple. Hole in the floor, 100% my fault. And the biggest one was the hitch that caused us to be delayed for 2 days because we were basically stranded. You know, with the hitch, with the sway bars off the hitch broken, we had less than an inch of ground clearance. So, I mean, like we literally couldn't drive anywhere safely. So those are just like breaks. Now let's talk about struggles. I've made videos detailing some of my struggles before, so I'm not going to go into extreme details. One of the pups is up, I'm guessing Lotus. Problem is, since we're just in a Walmart parking lot, I'm just still hitched to the truck. I don't have like the stabilizer bars down or anything, so like when they move, like everything shakes and my lights shake. And anyways, as I was saying, I've made videos detailing my struggles, so I'm not going to go into a huge amount of details in this portion, but I do want to touch on a few things. First, despite what you see, I actually eat really healthy. You know, when you're 4 hours from civilization, there's not exactly In-N-Out burgers everywhere. Also, because I have 2 German Shepherds that require exercise every day, I still get a decent amount of exercise, whether I feel up to it or not. So those are the good things. The bad part is mentally, I struggle a lot. You know, this lifestyle can be extremely stressful, as I've kind of mentioned. I don't sleep a lot, especially on travel days. Now, like once we're at a camp set up for several days and I get comfortable, then I sleep fine. But on days that we're traveling or the first couple days in a new campsite, I generally don't sleep too well. I get lonely. Something that has been one of my goals to work on, and I feel like I am getting better. But having Eric here for the last 5 days and then him suddenly leaving, not suddenly, I mean, I knew he was going to leave, but like when he left, suddenly I was hyper aware of just how lonely I am. I'm constantly worried about the pups and Ralli. I have extreme highs and lows. And other than the occasional RV park, the pups and Ralli are always with me, which I love, but imagine having your pups or cat with you all the time, no matter what. You know, you need to go to the grocery store, you need to whatever other type of errands or anything, like you always have to be mindful of them and worry about them and temperatures and safety and potty breaks and exercise. It's a lot. I'll talk about this a little bit more in a moment, but really makes you appreciate having like a stationary house where you can leave your pets, and if you need a day where you just kind of want to relax or something, you know, you can do that. And maybe you just take the pups out back and hang out for a little while. Like you don't have to like load everybody up in the car and go for a drive or something. Since we are on the coast today, I just want to bring up that it is nice and cool out, 60 degrees. So you'll notice I have my beanie hat on because, as always, these videos are brought to you by me. If you'd like to buy some merch, I'll link it below. As always, my dad is helping out by shipping a lot of this stuff for me, cell reception and just general things. Sometimes I may not get the orders out for a while, so just be mindful of that if you do place an order. But otherwise, I appreciate any and all who support us in any way. Back to the video. Part 3, the future. I sometimes call this a trip or a journey, but it's a lifestyle. If you haven't been following along for very long, I sold my house and most everything I own. Goodbye, house. So I'm fully committed to this. And while I do have plans to visit Cincinnati, that is where I'm from, that's where my family is, I have no intentions of staying there. Yes, as I mentioned, it would be nice to have a home base sometimes. You know, I think about that and think about how easy it would be to do just the simplest things. Like I want to go wash the truck or the Airstream. It'd be nice to just be able to leave the pups at home where I know they're safe. But where? Where would I have this house? Aside from the fact that I couldn't afford one right now if I wanted to, I just like where? I surely wouldn't want to have one back in Ohio. Too 1,000 plus miles away. That's not gonna do me any good. And we're constantly moving and seeing new places. I don't even know where this home base would be. So no, one day we will probably stop, but when and where that will be, I don't know. We spent time in so many places that I could see myself staying. Eastern California comes to mind. You know, like near the Alabama hills, that sort of part. I don't know what it was about that area, but I just really enjoyed being there, and even thought to myself, like, I could see myself kind of being here. Like, you know, you're a couple hours away from LA, but you're far enough away from everything else to where you're just out here in the nothingness. But then we spent the last couple days on the coast, and with the overcast and the nice air coming off the ocean, I think, no, like, actually, I think I like this better. I mean, there's just always these new places that we're experiencing. So to try to pin a specific location down this early on, I think would just be impossible. 90 days. We're still in Walmart parking lots. Actually, I think back to our first night on the road. We were just west of St. Louis, and we stayed at a Walmart for the first time. It stormed unexpectedly. So I hurried up and got us in the Airstream, got the pups a bathroom break. We went for like a little walk, got them inside, and just in time before the storm hit. So I spent my entire evening consoling Lotus. Didn't really get to eat. I got virtually no sleep. And I just remember laying there thinking, like, what have I gotten myself into? You know, I had no idea where I was going other than literally going west. You know, I had literally typed in Grand Canyon into Google Maps because I just knew that I wanted to essentially go west, and I didn't want to go the northern route. So I knew if I put in Grand Canyon, it would at least take me the southern route. 90 days later, we are at a Walmart, but I don't have those stresses. I cooked dinner in the Airstream. I showered in the Airstream while here. So like, I'm so much better off than where I was just 90 days ago. It makes me wonder where I'll be in the next 90 days. That may seem like little victories, like, okay, you're in a Walmart and you're excited because you were able to make dinner and take a shower. But in this lifestyle, that's a pretty big deal. In fact, I'm kind of proud of myself. So I feel like this video has been short, which is good. That's what I was going for. You know, I just wanted to give you guys a 90-day update and just kind of touch base. And as always, I just want to say that everybody who watches the videos, who likes, who subscribes, and especially my favorite people in the world, the Patreons, who support us each and every month with their donations, I love you all. Good night.